Welcome to my channel Coin Treasure HD. Today we are exploring the fascinating 1978 Lincoln 1 cent, the classic copper penny featuring the word liberty and the famous Lincoln Memorial reverse. In this video, you will discover the history, design, mint marks, mintage figures, current values, rare era varieties, and hidden treasures that make the 1978 penny a favorite among coin collectors. Whether you are searching through pocket change, coin rolls, or an old family collection, this guide will show you exactly what to look for and how to tell if your 1978 cent could be worth more than face value. Stay with us to uncover the secrets of this iconic American coin and learn why collectors still love the 1978 Lincoln cent today. Let's get started. Top 3 first, and the 1978 Lincoln cent with the word liberty on the obverse is one of the final years of the classic bronze Lincoln Memorial cent before the composition changed in the 1980s. Collectors search for these coins because they complete date and mint sets, and exceptionally well-preserved examples or pieces with dramatic mint errors can be surprisingly valuable. While most 1978 cents remain common, superb gem coins certified in the highest grades are scarce and eagerly pursued by registry set collectors, making this humble penny an enduring favorite. The Lincoln cent series began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the 1978 issue continued that proud tradition during a period of economic challenges and rising metal prices in the United States. The coin served its everyday purpose in commerce while also representing one of America's longest-running coin designs. By 1978, millions of Americans handled Lincoln cents daily, and collectors carefully saved fresh examples from circulation. The year occupies an important place in the series because it comes just before the dramatic composition change to copper-plated zinc in 1982, making these late bronze cents especially appealing to many enthusiasts. The obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1978. The reverse, created by Frank Gasparo, depicts the Lincoln Memorial with the denomination and national mottos surrounding it. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighs approximately 3.11 grams, and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. A delightful special feature of the memorial reverse is that Lincoln's statue can actually be seen between the columns, making this one of the few circulating coins to portray the same person on both sides. In 1978, Lincoln cents were struck at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, Denver pieces bear a D, and San Francisco produced proof coins marked with an S. The absence of a mint mark on regular business strikes simply indicates production at Philadelphia and does not signify an error. Mint location can influence value slightly, especially for pristine specimens and proofs, but none of the regular issues is considered a major rarity. The mintage figures were enormous. Philadelphia produced roughly 5.56 billion cents, Denver about 4.22 billion, and San Francisco struck approximately 3.13 million proofs. These numbers make the 1978 cent a very common date rather than a key date. Nevertheless, coins with exceptional luster, sharp strikes, and virtually flawless surfaces become increasingly scarce in the highest certified grades. In today's market, a heavily worn example is worth face value, while ordinary circulated pieces typically trade for 1 to several cents. Fine and extremely fine examples generally remain in the range of a few cents to perhaps a quarter when sold individually. Attractive uncirculated coins often sell for about 50 cents to a few dollars, depending on quality and mint mark. Certified mint state examples in grades such as MS66 or MS67 can bring tens or even hundreds of dollars, and the finest known registry quality pieces have realized prices in the low thousands at major auctions. Values fluctuate with the market and depend greatly on condition, certification, eye appeal, and the presence of genuine errors. The 1978 cent is known with a variety of collectible mint errors, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, rotated dies, and occasional double die varieties. Wrong planchet strikes and dramatic striking mistakes are especially desirable because they are genuinely scarce. Collectors should have unusual pieces authenticated, as true mint errors command premiums while post-mint damage generally does not. This coin can still be a hidden treasure. Although finding a pristine example in circulation is becoming less common, 1978 cents still appear in old jars, coin rolls, estate accumulations, and forgotten collections. Searching original bank rolls or family hoards remains an enjoyable and inexpensive way to discover high-grade coins or interesting errors. Before selling a 1978 cent, collectors should inspect it carefully under good lighting, compare it with grading guides, and consider professional certification for exceptional pieces. Cleaning should always be avoided because it permanently damages the surface and sharply reduces value. Safe storage in inert holders, albums, or capsules will preserve the coin's natural color and luster for years to come. The investment potential of the ordinary 1978 cent is modest due to its immense mintage, but top-grade certified examples and impressive errors continue to attract strong collector demand. As fewer pristine bronze cents survive and registry competition remains active, the finest specimens may continue to appreciate gradually over time. One fascinating fact is that the Lincoln Memorial reverse uniquely allows viewers to see Lincoln twice on the same coin, his portrait on the obverse and his tiny seated statue within the memorial on the reverse. Another is that the coin's bronze composition makes it noticeably heavier than the copper-plated zinc cents introduced only a few years later. That brings us to the end of our journey through the 1978 Lincoln cent. Next up, the 1984 D Lincoln cent bearing the motto EPLUBUSUNUM is a Denver Mint issue of the beloved Lincoln Memorial series. Although it is a common date coin, collectors eagerly search for high-grade examples and interesting mint errors, especially the famous double deer variety found on some 1984 cents. Most pieces are worth only face value, but exceptional uncirculated coins and dramatic errors can be surprisingly valuable. This combination of availability and the possibility of a noteworthy discovery makes the 1984 D cent a favorite coin roll hunting target. The Lincoln Memorial Cent series, introduced in 1959, was created to honor both Abraham Lincoln and the sesquicentennial of his birth. By 1984, the United States was experiencing economic growth after the recession of the early 1980s, and billions of cents were needed for everyday commerce. The 1984 D cent continued the tradition of circulating Lincoln cents struck from the copper-plated zinc composition adopted in 1982. Today, the coin is important to collectors as a representative of the modern cent series and as a date that can still be found in circulation while offering the excitement of collectible varieties. The obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date with the D mint mark. The reverse, created by Frank Gasparo, depicts the Lincoln Memorial, with EPLUBUSUNUM above and the denomination and country below. The coin consists of a zinc core with a thin copper plating, weighs 2.5 grams, and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. As on all Lincoln Memorial cents, a tiny image of Lincoln is visible within the memorial, a charming detail often overlooked by the public. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Coins of the same date without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia. For 1984, the mint mark itself does not create rarity, though specialists often notice differences in strike quality between mints, and gem-quality Denver examples can bring premiums. The Denver Mint produced approximately 5.57 billion Lincoln cents in 1984, making this one of the most plentiful dates in the series. It is therefore considered a common issue rather than a key date. Its value lies primarily in superior preservation and in collectible errors and varieties rather than in low mintage. In poor, circulated, fine, and even extremely fine condition, a typical 1984D cent is generally worth only 1 to several cents. Attractive uncirculated examples usually sell for about 50 cents to a few dollars, while certified mint state gems in the MS66 to MS67 range may realize tens of dollars or more. Superb top population coins have reached auction prices in the hundreds and occasionally over $1,000, depending on certification and eye appeal. Any major error or significant variety can command substantially higher prices. Known errors for the 1984D cent include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, broad strikes, rotated dies, and occasional doubled dies. Although the celebrated double deer variety is primarily associated with Philadelphia issues, Denver minted error coins are also collected enthusiastically. Authenticating major errors through a respected grading service is always recommended. Because of its enormous mintage, the 1984D cent can still appear in pocket change, coin rolls, old jars, inherited collections, estate sales, and forgotten boxes. The possibility of discovering a pristine example or an exciting mint error keeps collectors searching through ordinary cents to this day. Before selling, examine the coin carefully under good lighting, paying special attention to luster, surface marks, and any signs of doubling or striking anomalies. Never clean a coin, as cleaning almost always reduces its value. Store promising pieces in inert holders or archival albums, and consider professional grading for coins that appear to be in exceptional condition or display unusual features. As an investment, ordinary 1984D cents offer modest prospects because they are abundant. However, demand remains strong for high-grade certified examples and dramatic errors, and these categories may continue to appreciate as collectors compete for the finest known pieces. The coin is therefore best viewed as an enjoyable and affordable entry into the world of numismatics, with select specimens holding genuine long-term potential. A delightful fact about the Lincoln Memorial Cent is that it was the first circulating U.S. coin to show the same person on both sides. Another is that the transition to copper-plated zinc cents in the early 1980s makes the 1984D a tangible reminder of changing metal prices and minting technology. Thank you for joining this exploration of the 1984D Lincoln Cent. Next up, the 1973D Lincoln Cent with the motto EPLUOBUSUNUM is one of the Denver Mint issues of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Series. Collectors enjoy searching these coins because they are still affordable, easy to find, and occasionally appear with valuable mint errors or in exceptionally high mint state grades. While ordinary circulated examples are worth only face value, superbly preserved pieces and dramatic errors can command much higher prices, making this familiar penny an exciting coin for both beginners and experienced numismatists. The Lincoln Cent series began in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the memorial reverse design introduced in 1959 remained in use through 2008. The 1973D cent was struck during a period of economic change and rising inflation in the United States, when copper prices and mint production costs were becoming increasingly important concerns. These coins circulated widely in everyday commerce, and today they represent a classic issue of the modern Lincoln Memorial Series. Their importance lies not in extreme rarity, but in their role as a tangible piece of American history and as a popular gateway into coin collecting. The obverse features Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty, the date 1973, and the small D mint mark. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, depicts the Lincoln Memorial with the motto EPLUOBUSUNUM above and the denomination and country below. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighs 3.11 grams, and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. A delightful detail is that a tiny image of Lincoln can be seen seated within the memorial, making this one of the few U.S. coins to portray the same person on both sides. The D mint mark signifies production at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Coins without a mint mark for this date were struck in Philadelphia. For 1973, neither mint issue is considered rare, although specialists may pay premiums for exceptionally well-struck Denver pieces with attractive luster and full details. Mint location can influence value in top grades because some mints produced coins with slightly different strike characteristics. The Denver Mint produced approximately 3.55 billion 1973 D cents, making this a very common issue rather than a key date. Its enormous mintage means that collectors usually seek quality rather than rarity, focusing on sharply struck, spotless examples and unusual errors. Values vary significantly with condition and the presence of errors. Worn examples in poor or ordinary circulated grades generally trade at face value. Fine and extremely fine specimens are typically worth only a few cents. Attractive uncirculated pieces commonly sell for around 50 cents to a few dollars, while certified mint state coins in the MS-65 to MS-67 range can reach tens or even hundreds of dollars. Exceptional top population examples have realized auction prices in the low thousands of dollars. Actual market value always depends heavily on grade, eye appeal, and certification. Several interesting errors are known for the 1973 D cent, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, broad strikes, rotated dies, and occasional double die varieties. Wrong planchet strikes and dramatic mint errors are especially sought after and can bring substantial premiums. As with all error coins, authentication by a reputable grading service is highly advisable. Because billions were made, the 1973 D cent can still be discovered in old jars, bank rolls, inherited collections, estate sales, and forgotten boxes of change. Finding a pristine gem or an unusual error remains entirely possible, which adds to the thrill of searching through common pennies. Before selling a coin, collectors should examine it carefully under good lighting, avoid cleaning it under any circumstances, and consider professional grading for pieces that appear exceptionally well preserved or exhibit unusual characteristics. Proper storage in inert holders or archival quality albums will help maintain the coin's surfaces and value. The investment outlook for ordinary examples is modest because of their abundance, but demand for superb certified coins and major errors remains steady. As interest in Lincoln cents continues, the finest known examples may continue to appreciate, though collectors should view common pieces primarily as enjoyable historical collectibles rather than guaranteed investments. A fun fact about the Lincoln Memorial Cent is that it was the first regularly circulating U.S. coin to depict the same historical figure on both obverse and reverse. Another is that many people have handled a 1973 D cent without ever noticing the tiny seated Lincoln within the memorial. That brings us to the end of our journey with the 1973 D Lincoln cent. If you enjoyed discovering the history, values, and hidden treasures of this classic penny, be sure to like the video, leave a comment with your best coin find, subscribe for more coin adventures, and most importantly, check your change today. You never know what collectible treasure might be waiting in your pocket.